Welcome to the Good Buds Podcast, the show where good buds smoke good buds and talk about them. I'm Curtis,
I'm Shank.
and
Yeah, Isaac. Yeah, he got sick, so we quarantined him in his basement office where he used to work. Um, he's gonna be there for a minute, but send him some good vibes in the comments down below,
exactly.
and yeah, it'd be really cool of you. But
Oh,
he'll be back. He'll be back. It's Curtis and I, we carried the show for like a couple seasons before Isaac came on. So we'll be okay, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
So this is
Anyway,
episode 82, airing Monday, July 11th, 2022, on Spotify, YouTube, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and many more. Thanks for joining us.
today we are going to be talking about some of our favorite comic books. And before you buds are like, "Oh, great, another Marvel and DC gushing, thing on the internet," you would be incorrect because we are specifically talking about comic books that are not from the most popular and famous publishers out there, Marvel and DC.
Absolutely. So we'll be talking more about the ones that don't get as much love as usual. They're starting to get some more love in popular culture and popular media today. So we'll be going through what we got to say. But first and foremost, I have a bong packed right here, ready to go.
Nice, nice. And I have a joint right here, ready to go.
And for all the buds at home, if you also have something that is filled, preferably a joint rolled, a blunt rolled, a bong packed, a bowl packed, vape ready, rig ready, whatever it is, or if you have an edible, take them now before later
Eat
does
them
not
all.
matter. It is time
Eat
to
them all.
blaze it. Tok tok shkaboke.
Roach boat.
Hmm.
Mm. Man, that is tasty, Curtis. That cloud looked mighty nice. What are you smoking this week?
This week I am smoking on Nightmare. It is a strain that was given to me by a coworker, and it tastes like shit.
God, so that sounds like a nightmare.
Absolutely.
That's
Whole,
terrible. I feel
whole
bad.
thing is a fucking nightmare.
Why did I do that? So I won't wake up. uh, for
All
the
good.
buds at home,
I got other
yeah,
stuff on the side, so I'll
yeah.
probably
Okay,
be
go.
switching
Okay,
over.
good. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm smoking on some Pink Kush this week, which is very nice. It's not a nightmare. I'm very happy for that because I feel for you, man. Yeah, you get my sympathy. But Isaac needs to keep it down there. He's coughing way too much. He just getting too, but anyway. So yeah, fucking this is good shit, man.
Wait.
Mm. But anyway, if you buds want to see pictures of these beautiful nugs, you can find them over on our Instagram channel at Good Buds Podcast, or you can check out the content that the buds here make at Good Buds Curtis, at Good Buds Isaac, or at Good Buds Shank. Once you're there, please do give us a follow. It would be super duper cool. Also, you can check us out on Facebook, and you can check us out on our Discord channel, where we regularly have great conversations, and you buds can share your memes and ideas directly with us, which would be super duper. Comment links down below. Check them out.
Absolutely. And on top of that, if you want to help make the show a little bit better, you can check out our Patreon page. We got plenty of tiers over there, plenty of shit and plenty of other stuff and balls and fucking whatever.
Big
And you
truth.
can do whatever you want and fucking get some cool shit. We got behind the
Yeah.
scenes content. We got fucking the ability to join us live on the podcast, listen in. We got a whole bunch of crazy stuff.
You
Tier
could be
start as
here
low as
now.
$1. Fucking, we would love to have you buds come on over. But even if you can't, if you just want to, do any of the free stuff, like, comment, subscribe, share this with your buds, any of that just means the world to us. We thank you very much for it.
100%. Now, normally Isaac would be telling you that we stream on Twitch at Goodbuds Curtis, at Goodbuds Isaac, and at Goodbuds Shank. If you wanted to check us out over there, click that follow button so that you get a notification whenever we pop online streaming. We all have different regularity, we all have different games, and it's an awesome, very fun, interactive gaming time. Come and join us. That'd be super. Like, just yeah, check it out for sure. Because we're trying really hard to push to get Isaac and Curtis to affiliate status right now. So if you buds help them hit that point, help them hit that goal, that would be super of you. I'd love it.
Yeah, this weed tastes like absolute shit. Changing.
No, swap it out, bro. Swap it out, bro. All right, so what are you switching to?
I think some of what I smoked last week. Oh no, a couple weeks ago, Ice Cream Mountain.
Oh, there you
Got
go.
a little
All
bit
right.
of that left, so
There
we go.
Good call.
That'll be
Good
much
call.
nicer.
All right, so you wanna like that door or bong again or whatever, or hit another thing, and we'll take
Sure.
another hit before we get into the main meat
Yes,
of
sir.
the
Eat, let us blaze it. Tok tok shaboke.
you dog like that. Sweet man. All right, so obviously, like Isaac would probably have some input on this, but like he'll be back next week. We'll talk. What are we talking about? We already have something planned for next week. We're about to check it out. But Curtis, we want to talk about comic books that are like, our favorite kind of comic books from outside the DC and Marvel universe. And I know the buds out there probably have their ideas and stuff like that, but we have definitely got our favorites, right? What would you say? Like, I mean, starting not necessarily from favorites, but what are some like really interesting ones that you would like to talk about?
Okay. Well, I guess in terms of comics, if we're talking about them, then obviously we got to start from beginnings. So when it comes to beginnings, I used to have, well, by used to, I mean there's a comic book shop in the town I'm growing up, or I grew up in / still live in. So I used to always go down to the comic book shop, and they had little bins by the front of the store. I mean, obviously they had walls that were plastered with in seal fucking collector's editions.
Oh yeah.
They had fucking a Superman, Action Comics #2 or whatever, the first iteration of Superman on the wall, fucking in a plaque and everything like that. It was the guy's personal, obviously, he wasn't selling it.
That was just to give him legitimate nerd cred.
Of course.
It's like, yo, you think I'm not a collector, bitch?
And then obviously they had other stuff plastered on the wall between the Magic the Gathering tables and the card displays.
Yeah.
But at its heart, it was a comic book shop, so there was plenty of fucking comic books all along the walls. Like I said, some of the more recent ones were just, stacked there. A couple of them you can just go in, grab one, read. All of the rarer ones, or the ones that you would be harder to find, would obviously be sealed. So with that being said, it was instantly brought to my attention that those ones cost money. Because those ones cost money, don't go near those, because I, as a kid, do not have that money.
Yeah, I do be broke though.
So then I start moving a little bit closer to the door, and it turns out he had little bins that had multiple different things. Yeah. Starting at the front, there were free posters that were basically just the minifigure inventory for Dungeons and Dragons. Like whatever figures were getting released that year, it would just be a huge poster of them.
Which is lit.
Fucking lit, and as a kid, that gave me so much inspiration for drawing and creating other stuff, because I'm like, hey, look at all these.
Like a lot of people would be like, I don't want that shit, but I'd be like fucking drooling over that kind of thing, man.
As a fucking kid, I loved it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I still probably have a couple of them somewhere.
Fuck yeah. Like they're collecting dust somewhere.
I'm probably gonna pull them out at some point because I can nerd over them again.
Next episode, they're like hanging on your soundboards behind you.
Nah, I'm gonna wait until I move and then surprise my girlfriend by just hanging them up everywhere without telling her.
In the fucking one in the living room, one in the bathroom, one in the fucking. She's like, no, put it on the back of the door in the bathroom. So
it can't go in the bathroom. No, our bathrooms are themed. There's a theme in our bathroom, and I cannot ruin the feng shui. I will die.
Oh, okay.
One is Ouija board, one is Cthulhu. It's incredible, right?
Cthulhu.
One is Cthulhu, and one is a PG board. All right. So anyway,
love that idea.
I know, right? So anyway, back to what I was. So at the beginning, there was posters at the store, and then as you moved in, there was 25-cent, 50-cent, and $1 comic books in big bins. So as a kid, I would get some extra money, go down to the store, and sift through these, and start pulling out random fucking comics.
Yeah, whatever had a cool cover.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
whatever wasn't super fucking graphic or violent,
They
because
always
obviously
said don't judge a book by a cover, but whoever fucking said that obviously never read comic books because like I get it that regular books usually
No,
like in the old days just had a
right.
blank fucking boring ass cover, but I mean comic books, if you look at the cover and the cover's like you're like, all right, this is gonna be cool. I'm getting this one.
If it's a guy pulling out one gun with another gun he's pulling out from behind his back, firing completely full auto into a complete army of guys with tanks and he's winning,
It's
yeah,
gonna
that's
be
pretty
cool.
badass. I want to check that
It's gonna
shit
be
out.
cool. Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
So apparently I picked out one comic book that was violent and graphic and shit, but I never in the store I didn't read all the way through it because if I read through it in the store, what's the point of buying it? Right?
Exactly.
Um. So when I took it home, my mom flipped through it and she's like, "This is violent. This is graphic. Shit like that. You can't have this." So I'm like, "Okay, so this is not the comic book I can have."
Yeah.
So then it was go back, whatever money I had, and filter it out so that way my mom wouldn't take the shit away. So with all that, the first comic book that I ever got, because that was not Marvel or DC, because I didn't know the difference at that point. So
Yeah.
literally the first comic book I got was comic books called The Atomics
Yes.
by AAA
Nice.
Pop Comics.
Pop comics.
Pop Comics.
Or
Or
as some
AAA
people
Pop
say,
Comics.
comics.
That is the weirdest prostate exam ever.
I know, right? All right,
No,
now I'm just
no.
gonna I'm
Doctor,
just gonna
quit
check.
hooking it. Quit hooking
Okay.
it, doctor.
Hold on. One second. We're just gonna okay, you're
No,
fine.
no. I'm suing you for malpractice.
Dude, if
so
a
anyway,
doctor made my butthole go, I would high five him after he washed his hand.
I would sue, but then I would tell the story to everybody. I'm getting
Yes.
my fame
Okay.
out that one. So
So
anyway,
the atomics.
The Atomics, from Pop Comics. It was created by Mike Allred. Um, Very interesting group of fucking people. And the main thing that I loved about this one is there was another person that this comic was teaming up with, where basically it was the Atomics fighting another superhero. The other superhero,
I think I know exactly who you're talking about, but yeah, we won't mention it.
Won't mention it now because we're definitely mentioning him later.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about him.
So, with that, here's some of the people who are inside of the Atomics in the group the Atomics.
Yeah. Like I have vague memories of it, but you obviously like you got the whole thing.
So the main character and the one comic character who actually had his own comic book series to go with everything is Madman.
Yeah.
Now, Madman is some. Okay, he's got his own weird fucking backstory and stuff that I am now just reading into.
Oh, the Mike Allred character. Oh yes. I got it in front of me here. This is great.
Yeah,
I like his.
So yeah, he is all white. He has a exclamation point with a zigzag on it on his front that's all red. His hair is sticking out. He has completely white eyes, serious face. He's wearing gloves and he has a strengthening bulge.
And when he says gloves, he means those like neoprene kind of like latex work gloves, like the kind you'd use if you're handling something sticky.
Yeah.
Or working at Subway.
It is very interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting character design. I love the exclamation mark and how it draws attention directly to the bulge that he's drawn very pointedly on there. And the rock's exploding up towards his balls.
Apparently, the character first appeared in Creatures of the Id #1 in October of 1990. His real name, or I guess his name is Frank Einstein.
No.
Frank Einstein.
Frank Einstein, yeah.
Which, obviously, Frankenstein, but it's also a combination of Frank Sinatra and Albert Einstein.
Yep.
It's
so funny.
So yeah, he's an interesting character. Apparently he died and he still has troubles and he really can't remember anything about his fucking death or former life and he's trying to figure out how it is or what it is or anything like that. The
Yeah,
only thing he
he'll
can
be
clearly remember is a fascination with the comic book character called Mr. Excitement, and that's what his fucking
costume is based
costume
on.
is based on.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can tell, buddy, that those pants are quite revealing. But no, yeah, that's a badass character. Like, and the Atomics is who else is on the team, man? Who else? We got Madman,
Oh
who's
yeah.
crazy as fuck.
So obviously we got Crazy Madman. Oh, I'm dead. What are you gonna do about it?
My name is Frankenstein.
So other than that,
People gonna be pissed because they're always like, the monster's name wasn't Frankenstein, the doctor's name was. And it's like, yeah, but this monster was his son, therefore making him a Frankenstein. So he was Frankenstein. Just his first name was or fire.
or Monster.
Or yeah,
Frankenstein.
monster. Yeah, monster Frankenstein.
Exactly. It works. So
Yeah,
anyway,
there's yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
um, so it's Madman, It Girl. I don't know what the fuck she does, and
Wasn't there like
she's not pictured
a
here.
wasn't there like a TV show about that where they tried to like get like the new It Girl and she was like they were looking for
No,
like a
that's
model or some
Gossip
shit?
It. No, that's Gossip It
Oh,
Girl.
oh, Gossip Girl. Oh, Gossip Girl. I get. Okay.
Um,
Go.
so next is Mr. Gum, who is basically a direct ripoff of Plastic Man from the DC universe.
Hmm.
Red suit with a yellow
Who
arrow
who?
pointing
Well,
up.
he's been also ripped off by Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four and Marvel as well. So
Well, yeah, but Plastic Man is unique in his own
Plastic
way.
Man. Plastic Man was I think first. I think Plastic Man came out first.
Exactly.
So
But-
he was ripped off more than once. But this is another ripoff, which is actually honestly
See,
kind of
at
cool.
least Reed Richards, they tried making, unique blue, this, that. This is a guy who also wears an all red suit with a yellow arrow.
Yeah.
He has all white skin. He wears sunglasses, and he stretches really far and stretches into other shapes and shape shifts. And he's a smartass.
Yep.
So yeah, Plastic Man, and that is Mr. Gum. Next is Zapman, which is just I don't know. It's a guy with. He basically looks like the cover art for Mega Man. Like, remember the old school cover art for Mega Man where it's like an actual physical guy holding a gun blaster?
Yeah.
So remove the blaster and make it just like coming out of his hands. And the helmet is like covering his eyes.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, with
That's
stupid
what he
little
looks like.
with stupid little Ant-Man antennas coming off the side.
Correct. Next, there's Lava Lass.
Hmm?
I'm assuming that's a girl who can throw lava. There's
she's like Johnny from Fantastic Four, basically. She's the fire one that flies and stuff and burns shit.
Yeah. So then the Slug, Atom Bomb, Black Crystal, the Laser.
What does
Horn, and
Atom
Carla.
Bomb do?
I don't fucking know. I think he just talks to the Slug because the Slug is supposed to be some black chick.
I dig it.
But
It's fantastic, dude.
Yeah, it's yeah, some weird shit.
That is some
but
real
anyway,
weird shit.
yeah, when I saw it as a kid, I'm like, wow, this is fun and flashy and all that shit. This is great. But I know absolutely nothing else about them, and there's really not much else about it online.
No, I get it though. And it's cool though that you can have that experience from those like cheap bin things because I remember those bins, man. Like those and like dollar store like packs. Like they would have like 3 or 4 comics in them for like $1.15 or whatever, or $1.25 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And fucking like those kind of things always fucking got like gems as well.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, man. So the Atomics are definitely.
So yeah, was my
start,
first foray, and then there were a couple more after that. But Blake, how about you? What's one of your, if you can remember your first one, or if you have
Oddly
one?
enough, I do remember one, and it's funny too because I didn't remember this until literally we said before the podcast episode. This is a different swing for us because we said we're not going to talk about the topic until we record because normally we have a bit of a jab beforehand, like to kind of get an idea rolling. Like we don't really flesh it out, but we just whatever. And so, but this time we didn't do that. And this came to me literally. I was thinking it was like go Bloodshot and stuff like that and that kind of thing because I was going to mention those, which I will probably talk about this a little bit more later when we talk about a different thing. But one came to my brain and was like, this is what it is. Like, this is your first comic. I remember that you opened this comic and you read it and you were like, what the fuck? This is badass as shit. And it's called Exo Manowar. And it's made by Valiant Comics.
So Manowar.
Exo Manowar. And it's made by Valiant Comics. And basically, it's a fictional superhero made by Jim Shooter and Steve Englehart and artist Bob Layton and Barry Smith Windsor. Or Windsor Smith, sorry, I got the name backwards. A little bit of dyslexia there. But it started off as a character for Valiant Comics, and I think it switched over to a different publisher. But I didn't realize that they had that it was bought by Valiant. Or is it, okay, yeah, Acclaim Entertainment bought Valiant. I didn't know that. I'm learning this just now. Acclaim Entertainment apparently bought Valiant. And that's something I did not know.
So now they own the rights to it.
Yeah. So basically, the story of this comic is that it's this dude who fucking like named Eric who fucking finds a suit of armor that's like sentient almost. Well, actually, not almost. It is sentient. And his name is Shanhara. Shanhara. I don't know. But anyway, it's this Manowar armor that was like grown from a secret plant. It's not even like made. It was like grown fucking on this alien fucking world. And dude straight up gets it on there and they have a unique relationship and they basically like fight shit. And they had like the animation, I remember just fucking like dudes basically got these green lasers that he shoots out of the back of his right fucking wrist. Like he fucking does like mega fucking blasts with his punches and shit. And fucking the armor, I remember it's kind of a precursor to Iron Man because I think it was published before Iron. No, maybe not. Came out in 1992, so it was published post Iron Man. So it was probably based off of Iron Man, I guess. But it's just, man, like the look is badass. The helmet has more of a see-through thing, so you can see his face. It's almost like Doom Guy. But hold on one second here. I want to check something real quick. All right, so this is the original like kind of synopsis thing. And I admit that I am reading this not based on, I'm not doing this based off of memory. I do have a reference here. But anyway, Eric of Dacia was a Visigoth born in the 5th century AD under Roman rule. As a young boy, he witnessed his parents getting killed by Roman soldiers, and he just decided just basically to kill all the Romans, like kill them dead.
Kill the Romans.
Yeah. So basically, years later, he freed a slave. Basically, like freed this Celtic slave and fucking hung out with her and shit, and he started worshiping her god. And after kicking some demons' asses, he got like yeeted and taken aboard an alien spaceship. So yeah, the aliens basically kept him in a fucking prison shit, had him like locked away for 7 years. And fucking eventually he stole or hold on one second here. Yeah, he ended up basically had a map carved into his palm by an alien, and he got his way to that armor and found it and like stole it. So he fucking just basically used this armor to kick ass and fucking get off the alien planet. But due to the time dilation, he had only passed fucking like when he traveled through the space or whatever, only a few years passed for him, but 16 centuries had passed on Earth. So his like, so he was, that's how he ended up in the 20th century, like in the modern times.
Right.
And fucking, yeah, man, it's like, it's just insane, bro. Like, it's like the dude, like fucking, his powers are bonkers. Like, he's got this suit of armor that pretty much does whatever the fuck he wants. It's almost like Blue Beetle. You know what I mean? How he has like a
Right.
suit of armor that just like if he's in a situation where like something needs to be done, the suit of armor is like, I know what needs to be done already and does it. And it's like fucking it's pretty cool, man. Legitimately.
Yeah.
But I remember though, I got one of those, and the reason why I mentioned before those $3, there those $1.25 fucking comic book packs is that's what my mother bought me when I was a kid, when I didn't like to read. I fucking hated reading. I've mentioned it before on the podcast. I was like, I wasn't illiterate. I just didn't like to read, and I didn't find any joy or like take anything from it. But I my mom bought me one of those like $1.25. She went to the store for something and they had those, and she thought, hey, why not? Like you might be interested in that, and bought like one of those $1.25 comic book packs to bring back to the house to give to me. And she gave it to me, and I opened it up, and it had 3 comic books in it, and it was fucking Exo Manowar number like I don't even fucking know. It wasn't number one, so I jumped in the middle of a fucking storyline that I was like I had no idea what was going on, but it didn't really matter because like it was just cool. Um, it had a Bloodshot comic, and it had a fucking Kazar comic, but not this one, not not this one. It had a different Kazar comic, but that's why I have this one because it's like the only one I could get, so I got it.
Get what you got.
Yeah, but it was and I got a Kazar comic, and fucking I remember being like, "What? These are amazing!" And my mom, like, basically, I told my mom, I was like, "Mom, get me more of those," and she was like, "Okay, yeah, yeah, I'll definitely get you more." But inside, she was like, because she was stoked that I was getting excited about reading, right? So then she fucking tricked me. Oh, she tricked me, man. She fucking
Wow.
went and got a book, a novel, and it was fucking Spider-Man versus the Incredible Hulk. It was this thick. For the buds watching on YouTube right now, go check our YouTube channel. Link
Mhm.
down below. Yeah, it was like this thick, like which is, and I'm holding my fingers roughly, I don't know, like what, like 2 inches apart.
Two
But it
and
was a big
two,
book.
2.5.
Yeah, it was a thick ass book.
Okay.
But on the cover, it showed the Incredible Hulk being all rage mode, and it showed Spider-Man doing a cool fucking like Spider-Man leapy jump thing behind him, like about to attack his ass.
Right.
And basically I was like, bro, this is Spider-Man versus the Incredible Hulk, but there are no pictures. There's like no pictures in this book at all, except for at the beginning of every chapter. There was like an illustration, but that was it. The rest of it was just like a regular novel. And I was like, I read the fucking entire thing, cover to cover, multiple times, and I fucking loved the fuck out of it. And after that, I was like, if that book didn't suck, maybe other books won't suck. So I started fucking like diving into books. And
They suck.
like that, and now literally I read every single day. I read as much as I can every day. It might be inane shit, it might be stupid, but at least I'm learning new words that I didn't know before. And I'm like, and I'm intaking like new ways to put them together, like just digging in and compiling different like word structures. It's really cool, man.
Hmm.
But that's what made my love about like Manowar was the first one of those 3 that I read though, because it was on the top of the pile. So I was like, yeah, and I read that one first. So it's like, yeah, I fell in
Nice.
love, man. I absolutely fell in love. And so that to me is like one of my will always be one of my favorite comic books. And it's just like the art style was cool, the story was interesting, the whole like displaced in time and space. And we're talking, you think Captain America had it bad? Going from the fucking like 1940s to
Mhm.
fucking like the 20 somethings, like this dude went from the 5th century to the 20 somethings. Like that's bonkers, man. And
How
so
do you think Black Adam feels?
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And yeah, it's got that whole fish out of water thing, but the whole like his sentient armor being all badass and shit. And it's cool, man.
Nice.
It's
Nice.
cool.
Um. Oh yeah. Fucking. That was the one thing that I didn't or was not a fan of is since I could only get the 25-cent comics and shit, it was only what he had available. So if he didn't have the full set, he was just randomly throwing one in there, that was probably the only one of that set I was ever going to get.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was kind of hard to fucking,
Like track
find
different
one,
stories.
enjoy
Yeah,
it, and then fucking try to find another one and make a continuous story out of them. Or
yeah. You
continue
could
the
never get
narrative.
like 1, 2, 3, 4. It was always like 22, 12, 8, 14, 798. 1,
Try 20.
19.
Try episode or try fucking issue 7. That's it. That's the only issue I would ever get of that comic book. So for me, a lot of the time it was also, go get one and then try my best to read other ones like while I was there and shit like that. So yeah, my memory for ones that weren't really Marvel or DC, because there was never a Marvel or DC comic book in those bins. If it was Marvel or DC, it was worth something, obviously.
Yeah.
Even
those
if it was
publishers
shit.
don't want their comics in discount bins.
Mm-hmm. So, with that being the case, again, a lot of my memory for that when I was younger is kind of faded. I remember, like I was kind of saying at the beginning, I remember there was one character who his hands could heat up. He couldn't make fire. He couldn't like throw fireballs or any shit like that. But his hands could get incredibly hot. He had a really cool mask, and he had 2 guns that could switch from fully automatic to shotguns. And he could absolutely kill shit. And I think he couldn't die or something, or he was already dead. I don't know. But
Who
he
knows?
killed the fuck out of an entire warehouse full of guys easily.
Well, he's got that going for him.
And burned through a wall with his hands. I'm pretty sure it was either like breakout or breakthrough or break something.
I think his name is Hot Hands McShotgun. Buds, if you know who that character is by that description, let us know in the comments, because we would really. That's good. That would be good to know.
I remember there was another one I got that was like Blackjack meets fucking somebody. Yeah, so it was always just weird ones, and I never got, solid fun context.
Well,
exception of one, because
Yeah.
my brother was able to get a little bit more money and therefore take his money and pass it down. So there was one more who I still love to this day, even though I don't follow it, but I would love for it to be resurged or something. And that would be the Savage Dragon.
Oh god, yes. Savage Dragon is one of the best comic books ever made
Savage
in
Dragon,
the history of ever.
originally created by Eric Larson, fucking published by Image Comics, taking place in the Image universe. This guy was fucking awesome. First thing he remembers in his life, and the only thing he can remember, is being on a field that's on fire in Chicago, Illinois. And then he just goes to the city, becomes a cop, and starts beating the shit out of mutants. And super freaks and criminals and stuff. But yeah. It did have its own animated series, ran for 2 seasons, 26 episodes.
So
I did
good.
watch an episode, or I did remember watching that a little bit. It was one of those campy 90s shows. So fucking fantastic for the time.
Yeah, the voice acting was on point.
Hell yeah.
I don't remember who did the voice for that character in the show, but it was on fucking point. And dude, the style, like the green skin, obviously is going to appeal to me. Obviously. But like, I remember close to the time that I found those comics, I had a mohawk and it was green. So I was like, bro, I'll never be that beefy, but holy fuck, like that's awesome.
See, I remember sitting there as a kid in a white wife beater, wearing blue jeans and a black belt, thinking, yeah, I could do this.
Yeah, it could be him.
Totally.
Both of us are like tall, lanky, like skinny dudes. Like, as we're both like
this.
No, we are not meant for Savage Dragon. But Savage Dragon, man, that dude is like muscles on muscles, with muscles where muscles are on his muscles and under his muscles.
Each muscle has a goatee.
Yeah, and each muscle has a fucking goatee, like at least. Bonkers.
Sorry, I'm eating pizza.
I'm eating chips. We're both munchy, I guess. Weed. Big munchies.
Same. I'm hungry.
Super bad.
I get water soon.
Super bad.
I didn't prepare.
But dude,
I should be
cool. Oh shit. But yeah. Fucking with Savage Dragon. One cool thing though, well, one cool thing that they need to make it happen, and the internet thinks it needs to happen. They need to make a movie happen, and I don't mean a cartoon. I mean a live action Savage
movie.
Dragon movie, AAA style, fucking badass. Bow, bow, bow. Again, AAA style like movie with Savage Dragon, dude. It could be done. Live action is totally the CG is totally up to snuff. That they could
Easy.
make somebody easily just put little dots on an actor's face and then
Yeah.
record them, and then bop, they got a dragon head instead of their regular head. Like GG.
I mean,
Like-
Savage Dragon, that fucking jawline.
Just get Henry Cavill to do it.
He's already gonna be in the DC NDA.
Mm,
I was gonna say Robert Pattinson, but he's already Batman, so nah.
Jason Statham.
Oh fuck yeah, Jason Statham would totally be an epic Savage Dragon.
Too short, maybe.
I mean, they're gonna have to CGI him anyway for the muscle mass. I mean, Jason Statham is badass and can do his own stunts, but he doesn't have the mass.
Yeah, he's not like. We need someone who's like Jake Paul.
No,
Or wait, which one's the fighter? Logan Paul? Which one's the fighter?
well, they're both pussies.
Well, they both have square jaws, and one of them's beefy now. Because it's I don't
beefy
know.
Pussies don't make nothing.
No, it's acting. There's lots of pussies who act like tough guys in Hollywood.
Not giving them credit. Not.
No,
You can't make.
you're right.
me.
No, you're right.
Um.
They wouldn't fit the role.
Right. Plus,
Hmm.
if they got casted, that means it would just be cast by fucking Vine and YouTube stars.
Hugh Jackman, because he's no longer in the MCU at all or in the Marvel universe. His character died. He's done his contract with them entirely and everything else. He could very easily take on a character in a new universe.
That could be done. That is
Mhm.
possible.
Mm-hmm.
Jonah Hill.
Ooh, Jonah Hill, yeah.
I mean, we know that he can go fat, skinny, whenever the fuck he wants. So why not
True.
just go super mega buff? He's obviously capable.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Oh, you know what? No. One of the Hemsworths.
Hmm.
Chris Hemsworth. No, MC. He's in the he's Marvel.
Liam, he's not doing nothing.
Oh, the Liam Hemsworth. Give me the worthy hem. Listen, give me a worthy hem.
Give me a worthy ham.
We've got Liam available. Anyway, get him over here. Yeah,
I don't give a
we
fuck if
found.
it's Jessica. Just get him in.
Yeah, just get him in here. That'd be fantastic. Well, Hemsworth would probably work for it.
Hmm.
Oh no. Why did I forget his name all of a sudden? Dude from the
Caitlyn
room.
Jenner.
Could Caitlyn Jenner? No, yeah. But the one from the room. What's his name?
Tommy Wiseau.
Tommy Wiseau. Yeah, get Tommy Wiseau to do it.
I am Savage Dragon.
Yeah.
I am. Oh, hi.
You criminal. You shouldn't be doing that criminal activity because Savage Dragon, which is me, is going to slap you. Oh, hi,
dog.
Mark. Oh, hi, dog. Oh, there's a dog there. Everybody pauses for 4 seconds. But Tommy, what are we gonna do? We're going to go to the park and have football. Fucking, oh my god, dude. I can see it now. But I don't even know. You know what? Actually, Curtis, Savage Dragon, played by Curtis from the Good Buds podcast. In his acting debut in Hollywood, Savage Dragon is Curtis. Or Curtis is Savage Dragon.
Come to think of it, I do got the jawline.
You got that jawline. Like my jaw is kind of like pointed. My jaw goes like into a straight. It's actually like right here in a diamond point. I'm just joking at that. But you know, he's got that nice. I don't have really the squared on. Like you got that nice kind of like squared out. You can totally pull off Savage Dragon, dude. You just wear a bald cap. You don't actually even have to shave your hair. You just like slick it back and put a bald cap on, and then fucking they'd like
Mohawk.
CGI. They'd CGI in the fucking like the hair, and you're good to go.
I can just have a mohawk and they can just CGI over my mohawk.
Yeah, and you can just start drinking protein powder like immediately and like lifting weights every single minute of the day that you're not doing anything that isn't related to your like arms. And when you're like doing stuff where you're standing up, you're just constantly doing squats. You never stop. Like, and it's just like, and the whole time on repeat on like a Bluetooth headset, you've got "You're the best around." Nothing's gonna no more than that because copyright strikes. But
it won't work if I
playing in
keep
your
eating pizza like this.
no carbs, man, carbs. But buds, yeah. Like all I know is that with Savage Dragon, a live action movie is totally doable with what the technology we've got nowadays. And if you at home would like to see a Savage Dragon movie, then comment below about wanting that movie, because if you know even who Savage Dragon is, which you should, if you don't Google it. Oh, Curtis is lifting. There you go. He's gonna get those gains. Hey, Hollywood, you better be listening. Curtis wants to be Savage Dragon,
Savage
and I want to be, and
I'm
I
already
want to
wearing
be
the
his,
green hat.
and I want to be his quirky cinematic universe invented character sidekick, Stoner Lad.
You can be Mako.
Yeah, I could be Mako. So I mean, you gotta start right. Yeah, I could be Mako. Or we could do that whole like modern thing of like changing genders on characters and stuff like that, and I could be Slug.
That would be fun.
Yeah, people would probably get really offended though. They'd be like, "That Slug is supposed to be a black woman, not a white man." That's like double offensive.
It's okay. He's gay.
It's okay. He's gay. Oh, okay. He's bi, but he's dating a girl. So
Oh, that's fine then.
that's fine. But no, straight up, like it's like I think a Savage Dragon. What I was saying though, while you stepped away for like half a second, is that a Savage Dragon movie is totally doable nowadays. No doubt. Like with the technology we've got, it's easily doable. It's easily doable. Hollywood could fucking rock that. Hell, an amateur fucking YouTube studio could probably kick the shit out of live action fucking like,
Yeah.
If you're listening, internet.
Get this shit. Get this shit be done.
Make it done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, straight up.
Savage Dragon was definitely one of my favorite forays into comic books that weren't Marvel or DC. How about you, Shank? Again, we have one that you've been wanting to talk about.
Well, yeah, there's definitely one that I've been wanting to talk about, and that's, I mean, everybody loves it. A lot of people know it, but they don't know that it isn't published by Marvel or DC. And that is Spawn. Spawn. The lovely fucking, like, well, not lovely. He's actually quite ugly.
Quite monstrous and demonic.
But the amazing character made by Todd McFarlane. And published obviously by Image Comics, one of the most legendary fucking comic book publishing companies of all time. And basically, so for those of you who don't know Spawn's backstory, the basic gist of it is watch the movie that they made. But aside from that, dude was a hitman, a very effective one, but not necessarily like a hitman. He worked for the American government in an official capacity, and he would be an assassin. So he went around.
Albert Francis Simmons.
Yeah, Albert Francis.
By the way,
Simmons.
he was born in Detroit.
Yep, Detroit. But he was very effective at his job, very good at his job. And once he was done with his job, he was going to retire and go live with his family and stuff like that. His bosses knew that he knew way too many state secrets, so essentially they had to get rid of him. Later on, you find out that it was actually a pact with Malebolgia or whatever, like to get Al to hell. Right. But the government thought it was a direct order from the president to basically like get rid of Al because he was a loose end. And they killed his ass. He was dead, very dead. The main character of the comic book, dead. Game over. All right, everybody, go home. Stop reading.
Yep.
Like credits roll. But no, he ended up in hell, and Malbolgia was all like, "Hey, your ass got fucking got," and it was totally a fucking setup. I got a deal though, homie. I'll send you back if you agree to be my general whenever I want you to be. When I call you back, you gotta come back, hang out, and lead my army. We gonna kill everybody, everybody. And Al was like, "So I get to see my wife again?" And Malbolgia's like, "Yeah, I guess so. Sure, okay."
Right.
And so Al's like, "Good deal." Malbolgia yeets him back up to the surface, and what he doesn't really tell Al is that years and years have passed. It's been like fucking 6, 7 years, 8 years. And he pops back up on Earth and like fucking ends up, yeah, trying to meet his family. Doesn't go well because he looks like a weird fucking scarred, deformed dude, who doesn't look or sound anything like he did before he died. And his wife is now currently banging his best friend, and they have a kid together who's
Hey.
adorable. It's an adorable little girl. She's cute and everything like that. And yeah, so he gets all angry about that and goes to live on the streets. And eventually, some people help him out, learn his powers. He fucking gets all badassery. And yeah, his powers revolve around this like liquid suit that fucking flows around him. But anyway, that's for the people who don't know Spawn. If you want to know more about Spawn, click on that. But the thing I love about this dude is how fucking dark it was. It was one of the first comic books I read that it was like, dude, you ripped that guy's head off. Like the guy's head's like
Oh,
gone,
gone.
like
What?
gone. And it's like, and I was like, this is so much different than like everything else that I had ever fucking like ever seen before. And I was like, it's just insane, man. Like fucking, I know that like he's got these chains that fucking go and like grab people and can rip them apart, like just like rip them to shreds. His enemies are like not only are they like demons, like there's like the Violator, who's a
Right.
badass. Played first of all in the live action movie by John Leguizamo, one of my favorite actors of all time. Fucking love him. And basically a clown that turns into a giant Violator monster, which is fucking wicked. And he's got like fucking like human monsters that he hunts, like people who like are cannibals and like pedophiles and shit like that he murders. And like he like hangs out on the back alleys and protects homeless people. Like when people come in and try to shit with the like fuck with the homeless people or like hurt them or something like that, he goes and like literally just murders the person that's trying to fuck with the other person. It's like awesome. And the whole time he's like flying around with this red cape that can turn into whatever the fuck he wants it to. He can be like, he can turn it into a giant red dildo if he felt like it. Like, you know, like
Fuck 'em.
it's like, but he like turns it into spikes and shields and fucking like uses it to fly and fucking cover himself and cloak himself and all kind. It does basically, it's like one of those, you can't get me, I've got my invincibility shield. You know what I mean? Like kind of things, like when you're in those little play fights when you're a kid, bam, bam, I got you. No, you didn't. I have my super shield. And it's
Right.
like, yeah, it's basically like that.
Makes sense.
And it's awesome. Like a mix, like a mix of Venom and Doctor Strange's cloak. That'd be the best way to put it. But it was obviously made by Todd McFarlane from Image Comics, and Image Comics is fucking just legendary,
Absolutely.
legendary publisher.
Now,
Like,
oh hell yeah, fucking! I got a whole bunch. I think Image is definitely top of the leaderboard when it comes to. It was Dark Horse a while ago with Hellboy
mm.
and
Oh,
uh
so good, spicy good.
what they have another couple like Girl with the Dragon Tattoos. I think was them also
Mm,
originally,
mm,
something like that. They also have the Umbrella Academy.
mm. Which is written by Gerard Way of fucking. Why am I not remembering?
My Chemical Romance.
My Chemical Romance. Yes, Jesus Christ. I'm so bad.
But yeah,
You can just leave your hate in the comments.
Dark Horse beforehand, obviously, or they wrote Hellboy, Sin City, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, 300,
Hmm.
and they did the Star Wars comics,
Yeah.
which have been canonical.
Hmm.
Um, but since then, or Image Comics, I think has stepped up and really become its own tour de force in fucking comic book world.
Mm.
Obviously Spawn, Savage Dragon, uh,
Bloodshot.
Bloodshot, and then one that I originally fucking didn't know too much about, but I've learned a lot about recently after watching it on uh fuck, Amazon Prime, and that is Invincible.
Fucking Invincible. Oh my god.
Oh, by the way, Image Comics also makes The Walking Dead,
Yes,
Jupiter's Legacy, and Kick Ass.
Yes, Kick-Ass. That's the one I was trying to remember. I was like, fuck. I was like, is Kick-Ass published by them or not? I don't want to sound like an idiot by being like, oh, Kick-Ass is published by Image Comics, and then have someone in the comments be like, actually, it's so like I'm glad it is. I was like, is it Image Comics or was it Dark Horse? And I was like, no, it's not Dark Horse.
It was initially published by Marvel under the company's Icon imprint and republished under Image Comics. So technically it is kind of a Marvel, but still, Kick-Ass.
Marvel-ish.
Marvel-ish?
Kick-Ass is Kick-Ass is Kick-Ass.
Exactly. Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass is Kick-Ass.
But yeah, Invincible. Fucking show, it's on Amazon Prime Video. Fucking 8 episodes, 1 season, fucking 40 minutes each episode. Fucking incredible. And now that I've seen the show and now I've gone back and done research, it's fucking like pretty true to the fucking comics. It's
not only incredible, but extraordinarily violent.
And not only that, even like in the show, the littlest, tiniest thing that you're like, oh, that's just, a throwaway gag in the TV. It turns out they have a fucking huge fucking thing. Like, one of the throwaways in Invincible, which we're deep enough into the podcast now where we're probably going to be spoiling Invincible.
Oh, yeah. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Yeah, okay.
Hold on, one second. Wait, what's that
one? So in the show, at some point, they end up going to Mars, and there's a whole bunch of these squid things where if they attach to you, then they can use psychic power to basically enslave and destroy an entire planet. So in the episode, again, one of the astronauts randomly, they're like, huh, where's Rex? Or is Rex? Hold up, I'll find it. Russ. Where's Russ? And turns out Russ got left behind and gets fucking alienated and fucking is parasitic and shit like that, so he's controlling all these things. I'm like, oh, it's just a throwaway gag. And eventually they go back and they kill him, so it's no big deal. But apparently in the comic books, fucking, he has a whole bunch of extra backstory and stuff like that. So much so that they include him in the list of characters. On Wikipedia.
He has his own little entry.
They also constantly reference the Lizard League, which is apparently a fully fleshed out group with a whole bunch of people. They just have never shown them on screen yet.
Yep.
There's an episode where fucking Machine Head, which is a gang leader boss controlled by a AI brain type thing, Machine Head dude. But yeah, he hires a whole bunch of people to come and defeat Invincible and another superhuman named Titan. And yeah, it's just like, oh, they're nameless guys who have all these powers. But no, they all have their own powers, their own backstories and shit like that.
Very in-depth.
Comics and stuff like that. Very in-depth.
That's very in-depth.
So yeah, it's nice that it's just browsed over, but at the same time, it's nice that if you go back and you really want to learn more about these characters, if you go back into the comics, it'll tell you more about them.
Well, that's what the cartoon ultimately wanted to do, is get people interested in the comic book too.
Which it
right, because did. because TV shows and shows make marketing opportunities, and if that comic book is published and they've got a stockpile of it and they want to sell them, if that show is really, really good, which it is, they're gonna fucking sell every single book they've got available. Right. And that's gonna be money. So I'm impressed, and it's because it's good, right? So it deserves to be bought, and they deserve to have money. so that they can make more.
Exactly.
We keep going.
So I'm very happy with the show being on fucking Amazon Prime and hoping that people have a gained interest in it. Obviously, I'm hoping for seasons 2. I want to start
Mhm.
getting into the actual comic book series itself, so I might start looking into that, figuring out
Yes,
where
where
I
you
can
can get
find
them
it.
or whatever.
I
I
know
think
there's
you
a
get
lot.
them off of Amazon.
I know that there's a whole bunch of digital uh places where you can get free digital comic content. So,
Hey, maybe try to take a trip down to that comic book shop in your town there.
oh yeah, it's even closer to my house now than it was before. So,
Yeah, try popping down there and like go stop in there and be like, hey, I want to pick up some comic books.
exactly.
And now you're
Uh,
old enough and you have enough money that you can buy like a couple comic books in a row.
that I actually want.
It's like, wait, this is 22, 23, and 24?
I can do this.
Oh.
Um. So yeah, the show itself, fucking great premise. It definitely has similar vibes, especially at the beginning of it, to Justice League being
Mm,
pretty much direct carbon copy. You have, your aquatic character, your fucking alien character who can shapeshift, your super
mm.
strong guys,
You're speedy
flying
fast guy.
speedy fast guy, your woman who's super strong and has a whole bunch of weaponry and powers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's very
Person
fun.
who person who's an animal.
Person who's an animal, and then person who's just absolute complete fucking beast who
Hmm.
destroys absolutely everything and
Yeah.
compared to everything else, unlimited
Like
power.
Superman compared to the rest of the Justice League. He's like a god tier superhero amongst like high tier, but he's god tier.
Right. A literal god at that point.
except for Batman with preparation. Because he can Batman with preparation. Batman with prep time can literally beat anything.
Batman with prep time and Martha.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Martha, what did you say the name? So, sorry, go ahead.
but yeah, obviously you have Omni Man, this ever-present fucking god character who's infinitely as strong as he ever needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Destroys the fuck out of anything, and then at some point cracks and just is like, yeah, I don't need to be doing this anymore. Time to kill everything.
Yep. Well, I mean, the funniest thing though is that he doesn't even like crack. It's just that the whole time he never cared. He was pretending to care. So he just at one point is like, okay, time to do the plan that I've planned to do this entire time. And he murders every single person on that Justice League very violently. If you want to see that, which I recommend, check
First
it out.
episode, literally,
Yeah, first episode.
just watch the first episode all the way through. When you start seeing the credits roll, just let it play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking
You're like,
incredible.
wow, Omni-Man, man, he's like a fucking really wholesome, badass superhero, like Superman kind of took care. That's fucking. Oh god. Oh god.
Why,
Wait,
fishy
whoa.
man?
Whoa. What did he? Whoa. And he pulled out the. Woo.
Yeah,
It's like, but yeah, no, it's.
when this guy is literally crushing a guy's hand or head in while he's getting punched at Mach 5 and
Mhm.
doing absolutely nothing to him.
Yeah, he gives zero fucks. There was zero fucks given. It's like one of those things where it's a superhero who's so powerful. It's like Saitama from One Punch Man. It doesn't matter what you throw at him. He's just kind of like, okay, you done? Because
My turn.
I'm getting tired. I'm getting bored. But he would never get to that point. He would literally just, as soon as the fight starts, just like put his palm on your face and your head would blow up.
Exactly.
Which is one of his favorite moves in the show, is putting his fucking palm on people's faces and just having the force of him touching them make their head explode. It's like, it's mind-boggling. But anyway, yeah, that it's crazy. Everybody murders everyone. So
Go
it doesn't
ahead.
really snap, but
Please go check
oh,
it out. It's incredible.
so good.
And on top of that, it's also very similar to The Boys. So if you watch The
Mm.
Boys or you're familiar with that, very similar.
Mm.
And that's another one that's created by another comic book finally getting out there. Interesting.
Yep. Yeah, and you're not wrong. Like, and honestly, the TV show is getting fantastic. I haven't read many of the comics though. I would like to read some of the actual comic books because they're usually a little different, but
Right.
I've seen the show and oh my fucking god, that show is good.
I gotta watch more of it for sure. I've seen the first couple episodes. At first, I was against it because I'm like, oh, I'm hitting it for a typical hero story. And then as soon as I realized it wasn't your traditional hero story, it was worse. I'm like, oh, I'm
Yeah,
not into this right now.
yeah. It was your realistic superhero story. What would actually happen if a bunch of people got like fucking crazy ass superpowers?
And now that I've realized that, now I can go back with a earnest heart and be like, oh, okay, yeah, that I can roll with.
And I legitimately think there are going to be a lot of scenes, like most people, you're going to see a lot of things that you're just kind of like, what the actual fucking fuck did I just witness? But other times you're going to be like, holy hell, that was amazing. Like, and a lot of the time, the fight scenes are like so well choreographed. The fight scenes, the choreography is like on point. Because it's like because a lot of the characters aren't like fighters, like trained fighters. They're just like strong. And so like they have it made so that the choreography looks like it's just like somebody who's like swinging punches that just happens to be super duper fucking strong and like fighting against other people who don't quite know what they're doing either, but it works.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's amazing. It's really, really cool, dude. That show is fucking fantastic. And the casting was on point. Like, it was on point, man.
Absolutely.
Like, they couldn't have done better with the casting.
I think they've done, yeah. So far, they've done a really good job with who I've seen.
What's that guy? I forget the guy's name that plays Billy the It's not Kyle. I want to say Colin Farrell because that's not Colin Farrell. The guy who plays I knew it. I was literally talking about someone the other day.
Oh, Carl Urban.
Oh, Carl Urban, same guy that played fucking Judge Dredd. Carl Urban. Carl Urban. He's in the new Judge Dredd movie. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, dude. He was fucking Carl. Speaking of fucking comic books that are badass,
he was
Judge
also
Dredd.
in Ghost Ship.
He was wait. Which character? I've
not a lot of it.
My brain just broke a little bit. I've seen that movie like 800 times. That's like one of my 3 favorite horror movies. When was he in Ghost Ship? When was he in Ghost Ship? Well, I need to. Hold on.
Munder. He's Munder.
Oh shit! That was he had long ass hair. Yeah.
I
recognize.
I like him in The Loft.
Wait, he was in The Loft as well? What the fuck? Hold on.
Yeah, he was in The Loft with fucking Wentworth Miller, James Marsden, and fucking.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, he was all clean shaven and all
Eric
fucking
Stone
like
Street from Modern Family.
Yeah, Carl Urban is fantastic. Carl Urban's great. He's legit. But yeah, anyway, he was He would be a great fucking
No, Wentworth Miller. Wentworth Miller would be a great Savage Dragon, actually.
Wentworth Miller? All right, hold on. Let me
He's
check
the guy from Prison Break.
Oh, yeah.
He would be a
or wait, who's the other guy? Who's the other guy from Prison Break?
TV show, Prison Break.
Dominic Purcell.
Nah, he's old now.
Yeah, dude, nobody's beefy though. He would play a grizzled cop, but if you remember, like Savage Dragon had like a white fucking white 5 o'clock shadow, and he's already bald. Like, look at that! That would be put a fucking mohawk on that dude's head. He's fucking Savage Dragon, bro.
Amaury Nolasco. Amaury Nolasco.
Dude, yes. Yeah. He would be a great Savage Dragon.
He could be beefier, but
dude, he can work out. He can work out. I think he can work out. Yeah, he can work out.
Yeah. All right. So we've got our Savage Dragon for the episode, but we were gonna run a little bit of a shorter one this week anyway because
True.
you know we're sad we're missing our friend Isaac.
It's true.
And we're also tired of shit. So
shut up down there. Sorry. Sorry.
So with all of that, we are going to be cutting it short. So buds, please do us a favor. Let us know in comments on Facebook, Discord, any place you can. What is your favorite comic book? What is your favorite comic series? Whether it's from Marvel, not from Marvel, or whatever. Let us know what you're thinking about The Boys, The Invincibles, fucking Umbrella Academy.
Exo Manowar, fucking The Adventures of Dr. McNinja.
Do you like the Hellboy series of fucking movies? Have you ever heard of the Atomics? Do you know that one character that I can't figure out? I would love to know.
I would love to fucking figure it out. So if you know, God. Yeah, no, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Absolutely, we would love to hear from you, buds. And if you have any Marvel or DC comics you want to talk about, that'd be great because we would love to do an episode on that in the future. 100%. Or we'd love to do another episode like this in the future. Hopefully by 100%. Next time we'll have some, or I'll have some more. Some more comic book information to be expelled.
Oh yeah,
upon.
Yeah. We'll dig into it a little bit more. But also, I'd like to encourage you to like, comment, subscribe, and share this with all of your homies around that may or may not be interested in the podcast, because we are trying to grow this awesome community we've got. We are trying to grow our audience. And you buds can help us directly do that by sharing. When you see it, there's a little button somewhere, but it's like a little box with a link. Just click on it, share us to somewhere, and it'll help us out. Definitely appreciate that.
Absolutely. Real quick, I don't feel like hitting my bong because it's all the way over there, so I'm going to hit my pen and say, it is time. Oh, you got your joint still? Oh.
I got my joint still. Yeah, I went out, so I'm going to light it.
Okay, then, buds, it is time to blaze it.
Tok.
Nice. All right, buds. Once again, I'd like to thank you for joining us on the Good Buds podcast. We're going to roll one for the road, and we will see you next week.
Oh, later, buds.
Well.